again. Today we're going to learn a little bit about sterile technique. There are three things we're going to do today. One is how to put sterile gloves on correctly. Second thing is how to do a sterile wound dressing change. And the third will be how to do a sterile catheterization. All of them require sterile technique. First thing I want to talk to you about is how do you put sterile gloves on? How do you don and doff sterile gloves? Many students and even competent nurses have a tendency to contaminate their hands unexpectedly, and it does happen, but you have to be aware of what you're doing, how you're doing it, so that you can identify if you have breached any type of sterile technique. So today we're going to first do how to put gloves on. Now when I talk to students about putting gloves on and how to do sterile technique, one of the things I tell them is try to remove all your jewelry and not have any jewelry on when you are doing sterile technique. Putting gloves on, the rings and things that you have on your hand could actually tear the gloves. I have to apologize today, I cannot get my rings off, so I'm going to leave them on. But I would take them off if I could get them off. So let's talk about how to put sterile gloves on. Today we're going to put this where we want it at waist high. So we set this up for waist high. I have a pair of gloves. You want to have a pair of gloves that fit you. You don't want them too tight, you don't want them too loose. You open up your gloves and you take the inner package out of the outer package. This is still considered sterile because the gloves are on the inside. You would then open up your gloves. They open up, you fold the sides up, they fold the sides down. Now, these are gloves that tell you which side is the glove, where the thumb is, right and left. So you're going to open these and you're going to lay them here. Of course, first thing you do is always clean your hands when you're putting gloves on. Whether they're non-sterile or sterile, you always clean your hands before you put them on and after you remove them. Now there are two ways to open these. You can open up the whole package at one time, or you can open them up one side at a time. I'm going to open them up both at the same time for the sake of this video. When you pull this, give it a little tug so that it stays open. Your sterile area is within 1 to 2 inches around. You do not put your hands over there because you're considered contaminating. Safety again, you want to make sure that you have all the sterile in the side, within that 1 to 2 inches of your area. Now when you pick your first glove up, you usually will put your dominant hand. You pick the cuff up by the actual area you're going to put the hand in, and you can see there's a cuff area there. You put your hand in. Now notice that I do not have my hands down. I don't have them below my waist. I have them above. Anything above your waist is considered sterile. You drop your hand below, it becomes unsterile. You put your fingers in, and then you pull it down. When you put your second glove on, you slide your sterile fingers underneath the cuff so that your hand is underneath that cuff, and you can actually guide the glove onto your hand. So by putting your hand in there, you then have your sterile gloves on. You put your hands together, do not have them too close to your body, and you have them out so that everyone can identify that you have sterile gloves on. Do not touch me. Now occasionally one finger, you might get 2 fingers in one, leave it alone. If you got 2 fingers in one, say they're both in one, do not try to fix it until you have your glove on. Once your sterile glove is on, you can manipulate your glove to fit and make sure that it's all in place. That is how you don sterile gloves. To doff them, easy. You take the center, you pull your glove, you put this in the center of your hand, and then you pull it all the way over so that everything that was contaminated is on the inside of your glove. You then throw this away in your trash. Wash your hands, and then you are complete. This ends how to put sterile gloves on.